So we have a selection, and what's inside of the marching ants is selected. Now, I'm going to do something kind of crazy. I'm going to Command minus to zoom out, and I want to select the inverse so that I select everything except the headlight. In that case, we're going to go to Select Inverse. And sometimes finding all of these things just takes some exploring, right? And like I said yesterday, you're going to find a handful of tools that you're going to use every single day. But then there are other tools that you'll start to learn the shortcuts from. You'll just start to learn where things are located. And if you remember one or two things at a time, that is awesome because that knowledge will build on itself, right? So now everything but the headlight is selected. So I'm going to show you the coolest thing. Now we're going to add an adjustment layer. I'm going to add a black and white adjustment layer. It's in the second row, third one over. And what do you think is going to happen? Any guesses?
Changing the color?
I'm going to change the color of what though? The headlight or everything else?
Everything else.
Everything else. And I do that by adding, thank you, Camtasia. Kajunk. I do that by adding a black and white adjustment layer. So everything that is white is getting this black and white application. This little black spot is maxed. And it's masked so that the black and white adjustment layer does not affect it. Layer masks, I think, are the most powerful tool in Photoshop, and this is a great way to use them. I'm going to turn this off for a second, and I'm going to make another black and white adjustment layer. And also note that it doesn't apply the black and white to the background copy. It makes a whole new layer, which allows you to turn it on and off, allows you to go up to the Properties menu and change the properties, allows you to go to the opacity of the layer right here, change the opacity of the layer, bring it back up to 100, and it also allows us to work with layer blending modes, such as multiply, overlay, exclusion, and color. So you can get so many different effects from using these layer blending modes. You can go through them by pressing Shift plus, and it will go through them. So if you're like, I don't know exactly what screen does, Shift plus will work you down the list, and Shift minus will work you the other way. So I would say experiment with those, and we're going to be working a lot with those. Right now I have it on normal. What if I wanted to leave the car in color? How would I do that? I would need to edit this, yeah? Right now, the white is hiding everything. It's hiding all the color below because the black and white is showing through. So if I use the paintbrush to paint some black on this, the black would act as holes and reveal what was below. Right? So white is hiding what is below, and black will reveal. I'm going to grab the brush tool, just your normal brush tool, shortcut is B. Change the size here, or with the brackets on the keyboard that are located next to the letter P. To edit this layer mask, which comes free with every adjustment layer, I need to make sure that this is black and white. You can get, if this was red or a different shade of gray and you needed to make it black and white, you hit D for default black and white foreground and background colors, and X to toggle it back and forth. Changes the white and the black position. That way you can edit the layer mask quickly. With the brush selected and this layer mask selected, you can see that this little frame around it is saying, hey, I'm selected. And when the layer is blue, that also means I'm selected. With black in the foreground, I can choose to hide the effects of that adjustment layer. and reveal the pixel information below. So anything that's black is being hidden from the black and white adjustment layer and revealing the color information below. Now say I went too far. Just hit X to put the white in the front. Right? So there is no erasing ever. You don't need to. This hides and reveals, and the layer mask is the foundation of any compositing or making global adjustment layers work in a localized manner.